Welcome back to this week's YouTube Live and the podcast. My name's RD. Welcome to the Waterfowl Den. Hope everybody's having a great Wednesday. It sure is cold out there. We're in between storms. Man, where was this cold weather weeks ago? As a duck hunter, we want the cold weather, but man, when the cold weather showed up, it's showing out. The old wise tale is, if it's on the ground for more than 3 days, we're going to get more of it. And guess what? There's spots still that have it on the ground. So this weekend's coming. And what are we getting again? We're getting some more snow. So I hope everybody's still prepared for it. What's it going to be? They're talking a couple of inches. One model showing a blizzard. I personally, I don't know if I ever heard the word blizzard in South Carolina. Like, I just don't know if I ever heard that go together. Like, what do we do in a blizzard? We ain't made for that in the South. A lot of people joke, and I saw a lot of it this week, especially on social media. Social media was going crazy over this storm. When they predicted this storm about a week out, they were saying it was going to be bad, and it was. And people online saying, oh, wow, we just got this little snow and we prepared all this for it. Yeah, the model shifted. It went above us. They still got hammered. North Carolina, Tennessee got hammered. So just because we didn't get what they were originally saying doesn't mean the storm wasn't bad. So far, it looks like there has been a total of anywhere between 38 and 42 people that died last week just related to the storm. So that's across multiple states. So when people say it wasn't that bad, well, it may not have been that bad to you, but for the 42 people that passed away during this storm and their families, that's pretty bad. A lot of that was related to the cold. There is still a lot of power outages. It's going to be a while, and we're going to go from back to back into storms. So we here. We got power. That's all that matters. We're all safe. So hopefully everybody's having a good Wednesday. We're going to talk weather. There's some models that I've been watching that's going to be very interesting to see. Which one's going to play out, I don't know. It's going to be to be determined. But I do want to share something here, something I've been eyeing on. Man, it's like crazy. I'm going to throw it up on the screen here. I've been watching a bunch of YouTube videos. Sometimes when you get on a YouTube video, you just go down the rabbit trail, and that rabbit, I mean, you're just chasing that rabbit. And sometimes I feel like Alice in Wonderland, like the 1980s edition Alice in Wonderland. Like, I'm chasing that rabbit. But I don't know. This is what I'm looking at, y'all. So Mike saying blah blah blah. Mike, stick around for the model run here in a little bit. It's unreal. But let me share my screen here. Check this out. So I've been watching this guy, Cumberland Rover. You can build your own boat. Now these are P rows. These are like really really low water. It doesn't take much water to get these boats moving. It's basically three pieces of wood, and this website sells the plans to do it. Now, granted, the 10-foot sit on top is free. You can download it, and we'll go through it. But if you're looking for making your own kayak, this is really cool. It is literally a boat of wood that you can go down to Home Depot, Lowe's, or whatever you want, and you can build this kayak in your garage. You can't build it outside. Maybe in the springtime, but not right now because it'll get wet by the time you build it. But I am looking at, I bought these two plans, and I bought obviously the one free. I didn't buy it was just free. So the 16-foot, the 12-foot, I want to take bits and pieces of all three, combine them, and make a kayak. And I know my buddies were watching it, and they're gonna be like, "You just need to sit on top." But I don't know, for some crazy reason, I feel like this is a venture that I'm fixing to go down. Like, yes, this man's got all kind of YouTube videos. It is literally pretty awesome. So I'm going to start with the 16-foot. I can't find 16-foot pine wood at Home Depot. So um, it lays out the model. It tells you how to do it. It's very easy. So I want to take the 16. I want to cover the front and the back kind of like that, but make it a layout boat. But I want to use this back on this 10-foot one, but you can't see it in the picture here. It's not pointed on the back, and you're gonna say, why you want that one for a trolling motor? So I want to do the whole thing. I want to make one. I want to go, make a video of going to Home Depot, getting the board. Basically, you take 3 pieces of wood, you put them, make an H, you pull the front together, you pull the back together, you put plywood on top, and you either epoxy it and fiberglass it, or you just paint it. What I've been watching, most of these people just paint it. They get years of service out of these boats, and I'm talking maybe $20 in it. So now that I got like a good many people here, I want to show y'all. Going to use that retable paddle. No, sir, I am not. So now that I got that many people on here, let's do the model run, because this is I get a little geeky on weather sometimes. It could be the old age also, but look at this, y'all. All right, so what's going to happen is, let me zoom out a little bit. There you go. So pay attention right here. This is what you want to be looking at. That right there, y'all. If you can't see it on the screen, that's fine. I'll talk you through it. So right now, I need to back it up a little bit. And before I start, I am not a weatherman. I'm not a meteorologist. I can't even spell a meteorologist. I know it's got a meter and a orologist, and they go together, and I don't even know how to spell that. So I am not telling you to go out and buy any bread or any milk so you can have a milk sandwich, but I'm telling you, this is what the runs are. And you can pull this up on your computer. It is right there. There you go. It's not no magical anything to log into. So right here in this drop down menu, this is the models. So typically there's 3 models a day. So you got typically morning models and afternoon models. So right now we're running in the Wednesday afternoon model because we're obviously in the afternoon. So this is the date right here, 7 a.m. January the 30th. So the 30th is going to be Friday. I want to make sure because you got 29th tomorrow. So the 30th, you're going to see this blue snow right here. All right, watch this. A little bit in. So it goes to 10 o'clock, 10 a.m. Friday, 1 p.m. Friday. There's a little bit of rain coming into Georgia, South Carolina there. Look at that. It's starting to shift over into North Carolina. So this is 7 p.m. Friday. Friday night, 10 p.m. Look like a lot of North Carolina, Tennessee's getting hammered, like up in Nashville, which is already still dealing with a lot of the weather from last week. Look at that. 1 a.m. Saturday morning. 4 a.m. Woo! Look at 7 a.m. That's half of South Carolina. That's almost half of North Carolina also. And then 10 a.m. 1 p.m. and almost all of South Carolina is covered. Almost all of North Carolina is covered. At 4 p.m., All of South Carolina is completely covered. The coast, everything. Then you go into 7 p.m. and look at this out on the coast, the Outer Banks. That's just crazy. And then still Saturday, still snowing. And then you get into February 1st, which would be Sunday, and it's starting to go out. And then up in New York, they're starting to get a lot of it at that time. But let me back it up just a hair. Right there, 7 p.m. Saturday. Look at that. I'm going to zoom in on that. That's the central Piedmont, my neck of the woods. That's going to be a lot. They're talking about right in here where central North Carolina, I don't know what the sections of North Carolina is called, but the middle part, a lot of the farming, they're talking a foot of snow. A foot of snow. I don't think I've heard a foot of snow in North or South Carolina, and I don't even remember. But that's the models, and you can come up here and you can play with the models. And like I said, I'm not a weather person. I can read blue and I can read green. Green is rain. So if you could come up here, this model is typically the ECMWF is typically the more precise one. You got the GFS, which is, who knows, half the time it's all over the page, but that model pretty much is showing the same thing. Snow all over South Carolina, most of North Carolina. So y'all, we ain't out of the woods by any means. This is another time to be ready, be prepared, because it's going to be coming on a weekend. At least, a lot of people won't be having to be out in it. So that's a plus. But, definitely start praying for the people that's got to be out in that weather, like the homeless, like all the linemen, all the first responders, and the list goes on. What I've been reading so far with this snow, it's going to be like perfect sled weather. Like, it ain't going to be pack it up and make a snowman. It's going to be like powder. It's going to be like some of the best snow my kids ever seen sliding down the hill. I mean, it may be like some of the snow we had in the 80s. So I'm doing the snow dance. I don't know about y'all, but I'm doing the snow dance. Frosted Snowman's coming to South Carolina. Get your sleds ready. That's right. I still got one of them old wooden metal ones that got the little wooden handle on there. That wood's got to be 60 years old. I'm not 60. I'm a good 40 plus, and it was old when I got it, so it's pushing it. So, but yeah, back to the kayak. I've been watching that guy build these things. It's very interesting on how to build your own boat. Like, get on YouTube and type in plywood boats. It will blow your mind on the videos where people are making plywood boats. I really would like to have like a sneak boat. Some of them sometimes are called a sink box, like a sneak box, because it's like a square and you get in it. I guess that's where they get the box from. The bottom of it is really made like a sailboat. It's not really made to get up on plane. It's real wide. It reminds me of like the layout boats that most people would call like the UFO. Very stable, very wide, very stable. Take very little water to move around in. So after the snow, I think this is going to be my next adventure. So if y'all start seeing that, and I left the box downstairs. I forgot that I had a box. Let me see if I can get him to bring that up. He might not can. I left the box downstairs that I meant to bring up to show y'all. Maybe I can get it up here for the end of the show. But Tideweed has got some new base layers, and those base layers are amazing. Like, let me see if I can get him and bring it up again. Let's see if he reads his message. But Tideweed's got these new base layers. Wow, that's all I can say. I've done a video of one jacket that the base layer comes with, but I didn't even know Tideweed had regular base layers, and there's going to be some videos coming up with that. But I took these base layers to the first time to New Jersey, and I just had my t-shirt on, and then I put the base layer on, and then my jacket. In the morning times, you're nice and warm, but by the time it gets warm outside, it also lets the heat out. Like, it just keeps your body very regulated. I mean, it is unreal. You didn't get hot, you didn't get cold, you just stayed perfect level. And so there's going to be some new videos coming out about the Tideweed base layers. So y'all definitely be looking out for that. Remember, anything that you buy off of Tideweed, if you put in RD18 at checkout, you can save yourself 18%. I'm not saying everything on the website, but majority of everything on Tideweed's website that I've ever put that code in, it seems to work. Now, the only time that I've seen it not work is when something was like clearance special or something. I mean, you can't get something, but you ought to put it in RD18 all together, and check out some of the Tideweed stuff, man. It's legit nice stuff, and quick on shipment too. I made a video last week of my Tideweed. I had to go out and, get some wood and put it in the heater. I had my Tideweed on. It's battery operated. It's heated. So when you're out in them elements, it really keeps your core very warm. So you may use the excuse to tell your wife, if I buy some clothes for hunting, I can also use it for something else. Now, I know you deer hunters, you won't be able to do that. But us duck hunters and turkey hunters, we can use clothes that we walk around in the yard with all the time because they can't smell. Because I'm telling you, if a turkey could smell, boy, that'd be the toughest bird ever. I mean, they're already tough, but this is the last weekend of waterfowl season. Like, this is coming down to it. How's everybody doing? I know I went last Friday. We picked one off, and that was about it. But this is it. You got Youth Day in South Carolina. You got Youth Day on the 7th, and then the 14th. So, and remember, Veterans Day is coming up. So if you're a veteran, going into February, you'd have to pull up the dates of when veteran dates are. Let's see. It's usually when Youth Day is, because I can't remember if it says December the 12th. No, that can't be right. February the 1st and February the 8th is Active Military Days and Youth Day. So 1st and 8th for South Carolina. Let's see what North Carolina is. North Carolina might still be cleaning out some of the. So North Carolina is February the 7th. Remember, you can't hunt in North Carolina on a Sunday. So North Carolina's February the 7th. Let's see what Georgia is. I've been watching a lot of people's videos, and all around us, people is saying, man, where's the birds? I honestly feel like some of them's already packed up and went back towards Canada. Georgia looks like I don't see Georgia's. Where you at? Georgia might already be finished. It looks like here that it's like December the 6th through January 25th. So Georgia might be completely done with. Wow. So with duck hunting, and a lot of people don't know it, but each state can break up the dates however they want to do it. It doesn't matter if they start early. It doesn't matter if, hey, they do a little bit in September, a little bit in November, a lot in December, very little in January. They got 90 days. Like 90 days, that's it. That's all you got. And regardless of how you split that up, the end of January is the end of every season, regardless. So it doesn't matter. January, the end of January is the end of the season. Now, they do allow the Youth Day and Veterans Day to typically roll over into February because them are just special days. And for the most part, there's not a whole lot of people going out during that time. The masses is so much smaller. So there's that. So asking me how the retays treat me, it's treating me awesome. I ain't had no problems out of the retay. I did order some more chokes, so I got some more kick chokes in. When I went to New Jersey, they were flying past and landing past the decoys. Like I needed something more than that improved mod. So now I have an improved mod and full and extra full. So we're going to get on them. But what's this weather going to do? I don't know. So Friday morning, I might be able to get to go Friday, but the way Saturday's looking, I don't know. I mean, honestly, if you have not seen the temperature of what Sunday is going to do, it's going to be unreal. Hey, Jeff, how's it going out there? Yep. So Gerald said Georgia was done. That's what I thought. I thought Georgia was done a week ago. I didn't know if Georgia had special Veterans Day hunts, but yeah, they're done with. So the way, like I was saying with waterfowl season, some states start early. Obviously, like Ohio, Chicago, all of them start early because they're colder than us down here in the South. So every state's different. North Carolina, you can't hunt on Sundays. I personally don't agree with that. For the blue collar man, and there's a lot of blue collars in North Carolina, I feel that it's a ripoff. I am a church kind of guy. I definitely say that you definitely need to be in church, but I also agree that there's a lot of stuff that you could do outside the church and fellowship with other men. But why North Carolina you can't hunt on Sunday? I mean, there's plenty of times you could go hunt that morning and be at church. Maybe allow it on Sunday, but you can't shoot past 10 o'clock. I don't know. I don't feel that North Carolina that's fair for the blue collar man. There is a lot, and I'm talking about they have North Carolina is no hunting at all, whatever species at all on Sundays. Not afternoons. You just can't hunt on Sundays. And again, for there is a lot of blue collar people, and I'm talking about the ones that make this country roll, the ones that build stuff. They're working Monday through Friday, and half the time they work on Saturday. So you telling me that they only get one day a week to hunt, which is on a Saturday, which they typically have to work, and now they can't hunt on Sunday? I don't know. I've never liked that, and I know that it's North Carolina, and I don't live in North Carolina, but it's just right across the border, and we do hunt a lot in North Carolina, and we have to plan our trips to go on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Uh, I just don't think it's fair, and you know they some people say, oh, it's to give the animals rest and get okay. Pick Monday, pick Wednesday. Heck, pick Tuesday. It'd be in the middle of the week. I don't know. I don't get it. I do not get it. Um, I don't know. I'll debate that one. I don't see. I don't think it's fair for everybody. Everybody don't get. There is plenty of people that start new jobs. are the bottom of the totem pole that don't get vacation. And you're going to tell a blue collar man, excuse me, that only gets 1 week vacation that he can't hunt on Sundays in North Carolina? I mean, it's just not fair. So I'm glad South Carolina at least has that. You cannot hunt on game management on Sunday in South Carolina. Okay, North Carolina, at least do that. I understand that. Game management, typically the game wardens are having to work. If you had it on a Sunday, which would require them to work more, I can see that. Turn game management off. But private property? I mean, I don't see how you could tell a man that is working Monday through Friday, and typically, like I said, on Saturday, that he can't even hunt on his own property on Sunday, even in the afternoons. I don't. That's just tough. I don't get it. What's up, Zach? They work so much better with money because of, and that could be. I know Zach hunts a lot of North Carolina, and that day of rest of what he's saying is, they work better because they had a day off, and I understand the day off. Let's move it to like Monday or Tuesday or Thursday. Maybe they'll work better on Friday. I don't know. Just give the working people, an extra day, because typically they only get the weekends off. I mean, there's a lot of species you talking deer, you talking quail. There's a lot of quail in North Carolina. You got all kind of different species. So I don't know. That's your next research project to find the answer. I guarantee you the answer goes back to Bible Belt, biblical, people saying there be people hunting while the church is going on. I can promise you, if I Google that, that's probably exactly where it comes from. And I get it. I 100% get it. Just set the time, 10 o'clock. You can shoot up 10 o'clock on Sunday, and you can pick back up at 2 o'clock. Because for the most part, between 10 and 2, there usually ain't nothing flying anyway. So give the man a little bit of working. But this weekend is definitely going to be something in South Carolina. There's going to be a lot of people that need to be watching the forecast when they go to pull out Saturday. The way the models are running, Saturday morning you might stretch out at 3-4 o'clock in the morning to go hunt, and by lunchtime, that boat ramp is going to look totally different. Like I said, when I showed the models earlier, these are all just models. Today being Wednesday, I would look at the models again on Thursday night, Friday morning. By that time, they're going to be right on the money. And I'll throw them back up on the screen here because, I don't know what I clicked on. So here is the models again. Like I said, this is GFS. GFS, at best, sometimes I say that's like the cheap app on your phone. But this is what you want to look at right here. This is your date, January the 30th. So that's going to be Friday at 1 p.m. And I could switch models too, but 1 p.m., 7 p.m., and then 1 a.m. Saturday, and then 7 a.m. Saturday is starting to roll in, and then by 1 p.m., half the state's covered, and probably 60% of North Carolina is covered. 7 a.m., pretty much South Carolina and North Carolina is completely covered. And then going into Sunday is rolling off the coast. Now that was the GFS model. Like I said, this model here is typically, I like to look at it a little bit better. We're going to back it up. And the ones that are just joining, again, this is where you want to look at. So the 30th, 7 p.m., starting to roll in. Saturday, 1 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 10 o'clock. Like I said, for the people in the upstate, when they hit the boat ramp at 4 o'clock in the morning, 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock, half the state's covered. I mean, it's either going to be awesome or it's going to be, holy moly, I can't get home now kind of deal. And some of y'all that pull boats, driving a truck on the road on snow is better than ice. But also remember, you're pulling a trailer. So going into Saturday afternoon, 4 p.m., the whole state's covered. Again, 7 p.m., the whole state of South Carolina, North Carolina covered. And there you go. Going into Sunday. So, like I said, you can look at this. I like looking at the weather again. This is a free website. You can go to them. Here's your models. Like this is your runs right here. I'm trying to click over there. Here we go. So here's your runs. This is where we're at. We're at late afternoon Wednesday. You can compare models. Look at Tuesday. All right, well, there's what Tuesday was telling us it was going to look like. Well, what did Monday look like? There you go. Obviously, it's building. So you can look at these models and compare them. And then when you switch here, you can change models. I personally don't know what all the models are. I usually look at it and the GFS and usually come in between. But it's going to be cold. Sunday is going to be really cold. The wind chill Sunday is going to be blistering. Let's see, middle of the state. Let's see where forecast is. Can't remember which one's forecast. Here we go. So Sunday morning is going to be 21, but they're talking wind chills in almost like the single digit Sunday morning. Look at that, 16 degrees Sunday morning. Single digit wind temperatures. That's in Columbia. North Carolina, let it refresh, 16. And that's in the farm part of North Carolina. I was up there towards Raleigh. Wilmington area, 17, 19. It's going to be cold. And I'm telling you, we really could get it. I mean, it is building up to be something. And like I said earlier at the beginning of the show, there's one model. It's throwing around the word blizzard. Like, I don't even want to say, do I think it's going to be a blizzard? I don't even know what a blizzard looks like. Like, honestly, I would probably have to ask Google, has there ever been a blizzard in South Carolina? I'm sure there has. I don't recall it. Okay, so there's the answer. Has there been a blizzard in South Carolina? Remembering one of the South Carolina's biggest snowstorms 52 years later, a view of Mullins, which is downtown Mullins, South Carolina, a 1973 blizzard over a foot on the ground. So that's what they're talking about in North Carolina. They're talking about a foot. I don't think we're going to get a foot by any means. Any means. Not even saying that. I mean, I'm expecting maybe 5 inches, maybe 8. Would I like to have more? Maybe. I really would like to have some snow that my kids can actually slide in. Like, we get so much snow ice that when you walk on it, it sound, and when you slide on it, you're sliding on ice. I mean, yeah, it's fun for them, but I'm talking about like that 1980s snow. And some of y'all know what I'm talking about. Like, you could sled all day, slide up and down the hills, go home, get warm, eat, go back out and slide. I mean, it was just, and make ramps. Like, when was the last time you made a snow ramp and actually jumped it with a sled or something? I don't recall it. Not since the 80s. Southern guys, it's going to be -5 with the wind chill of -20 Friday here in Nebraska. Yeah, I don't want that neither. Again, I said it at the beginning of the the live tonight, we're not made for that. You look at a lot of these places that upstate, like New York and stuff like that, most of their infrastructure is buried underground. Like, they don't have no tree limbs to take out the power lines. It would be nice to have that in the South. It would just cost too much. And when you go into a city, let's just say our downtown, Rock Hill, Fort Mill, TKK, Lake Wiley, all that is underground utilities. And why? Because the houses are so close. For two reasons. One, they're so close. And two, if you have power poles and lines everywhere, it just looks tacky. I mean, it is. That is why everything is underground. It looks nicer. It is less that they're having to put in. Usually, when they build a shopping center and put in 100 homes, they're not really going anywhere. So when they put the infrastructure in, it is there. Here in the South or in the county, you may go miles before you see the next house. And for them to put that in the ground, exposed cable and buried cable is two different cables. They're not the same. And, it may be 20 years before a subdivision comes. It's just the infrastructure cost is just not there. And that is why in the South you see power poles. That's usually why they break. The tree limbs get over weighted, they snap, there goes the line. And as a past firefighter, you treat every line on the ground as it is hot. You don't be like, oh well, it's not sparking, it's not live. That's not true. Oh, I saw it sparking over here, it went to arcing and then it just stopped. It must have tripped the breaker. It's not hot anymore. That is also not true. Back in the old days, that is true. Once it hits the ground and arc, it would blow a fuse. What would happen? They had to come out, repair it, put the fuse on. Nowadays, they got fuses that reset. It arcs after a certain period. It resets. Power comes back on. So why would you want something that reset? Well, if a tree fell on the line and it grounded out, it would arc. It would cut off. Typically, maybe it would fall. Sometimes it burns. Sometimes it hits both of them, catches on fire. And when the tree burns off or falls off or something else, the line is now clear. Well, it can reset itself. So treat every line like it's hot. Oh, that's just a cable line over there. No, them things get hot too. I have seen telephone wire, TV lines. They might have crossed up the road and now became energized. So treat everything like it's hot, because you know why? Because I don't want to lose a subscriber. That's why. I need every single one of you to tune in. That I don't even know what camera I'm looking at. How about that? I got like 5 cameras going here, and I forgot we're on this one. So I need y'all to pay attention. Treat them like it's live. Don't run over them. Don't pick them up. Don't use a stick. Be like, oh, well, I'm going to use this broomstick over here. Well, that broomstick can have moisture in it. And if it has any moisture in it, it can run up and get you. So, no, I need y'all to stay here. So, I need somebody to at least watch this show every now and then. And I greatly appreciate all of you that's tuned in right now. So, how many of you lost power over the past week? Like I said earlier, a lot of people were talking junk about it, like, oh, how the weatherman got it wrong. They made us go out and buy generators because they were saying we weren't going to have power for a week. Literally, if that storm wouldn't have shifted just a little bit, we would have had a mess. And like I said, there was 40-something people that died. That ain't, we shouldn't never joke about people dying. I mean, I read it on there, and it blows my mind, the people that comment online of, when's this store opening up? I need this. And I mean, I don't know. I just don't get it, which I guess half the time we'll never understand the whole power of the internet. But hopefully we get some. We're going to document it if we're going to have some fun. I mean, me personally, I'd like to have some snow so I can slide with the kids. I mean, I'm just a big kid myself, so maybe I can get to go hunting Friday. Maybe, maybe the times have changed. Saturday, and you know, maybe I can get out there Saturday morning. But I'm pretty sure Saturday and Sunday is going to be a complete bust. So yeah, Jay, I don't know, Jay. If you look at the model, there's some of Georgia. Typically, and Jay, I know you from Georgia too. I don't know what's got the dogs all barking down there. Typically, us in the South say, "Hey, if Georgia gets it, we're going to get it." This is coming over the mountains, so it's kind of rare for sure. But yeah, I mean, look, Jay, let me pull it back up on the screen here. That, I don't know why, but every time I click that, look at that, Jay. There you go. In Georgia, there's two of y'all Georgia boys up in there. Look at that. That's definitely in Georgia. I mean, Jay, I know where you live. You in the blue in that picture. So actually, I don't know exactly where Gerald lives, but I know he's up a little bit higher than you. So I mean, maybe y'all could get some little flakes. That's all I'm saying. I mean, that's a whole lot of blue in Georgia. I mean, y'all can't go duck hunting, but you at least look pretty. Never lost. Y'all got a little ice, never lost power, so that's good. That is very blessed. That's for exactly sure. Jeff says, I feel bad for the people without power, and it's going to be a while before they get it back. Absolutely. Like Tennessee got hammered, Missouri, parts of like Mississippi, all that got hammered. Pretty bad. Mama says she wants some snow cream, white snow, not the yellow snow. Don't eat yellow snow. Could be the dogs. Don't. That's another. Don't touch live power lines and no yellow snow. So she loves some snow cream and put all that cream up on that snow. And see, that's what we need. We need some snow cream. We need some snow so the kids can slide on. We can take our loaf bread and dip it in our milk and have milk loaf breads. We're probably going to get more flurries, but not much. Hey, if it thunders while it's doing it, then there's going to be a repeat. And I'm just saying, I'm just going to go ahead and say it out there. There's something else in the works a little bit on down the road. So Jared, well, no, not Jared, Jeff. Let me throw this back up here. Let me show y'all something. And I know a lot of people are gonna be like, I don't want to see that for sure. Let me zoom back out for you. So here we go. Let's go February the 1st. So we're just gonna start Sunday at 1 p.m. Here we are right here. It's already off the coast. It's up in New York. Oh, let's go February the 2nd, February the 3rd. Just look at it. Just look at it. There you go. Snow in Nebraska. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah. Oh, as far as the model goes. So if you follow the little lines, that's typically where the winds are blowing. What is that going to do for us? So if that's February the 3rd and it's in the middle of the country, what's that going to make around the 7th? Is that another storm coming this way? I mean, what do y'all think? I mean, just throwing it out there. Y'all see the models. Will it be rain by then? I don't know. But that's as far as I could go out for today's run. Tomorrow will be something else. But I mean, you see it coming. Let me hear one thunder. Let me hear it thunder one time during this storm this week. And I know that that's coming our way. I mean, can we have 3 winter storms back to back? I don't know, but we're going to find out. So let's see what. I'm right at the South Carolina line, I-40, Hartwell, Georgia. Yeah, I mean, you're in the blue. You may get some. I bought some milk and bread today only because they were out. Only because we were out. Yeah, I don't understand the bread and milk. Like, I understand, a lot of kids need milk and you can make a lot of stuff with bread. But, like, they need to put something else with that. Like, you need to go out and get bread, milk, and ham. Like bread, milk, pimento cheese. Pimento cheese goes good on anything. Especially like southern pimento cheese. If y'all were watching the upstate, like way away, and you don't know what southern, that is some good stuff. So we need to start talking to these forecast people. We need them to go out, bread, milk. Maybe we need to help our farmers. Eggs, bread, milk, beef. We need something else because we can't eat bread in our milk. The only thing we dip in our milk are Oreos. We can't be dipping the Wonder Bread in the cup because that's all that was left at the grocery store was that old cheap stuff. And I know some of y'all went to go get some bread and even the cheap stuff was gone. The regular bread was gone and you were left buying some of them poppy seed breads. I tell my wife all the time, I just want some Wonder Bread. That's all I want, some Wonder Bread. And she claims that that's not real bread. I don't know. When I was growing up, we ate everything on bread. You had peanut butter jelly, ham sandwiches, hamburgers, hot dogs. You ain't Southern if you ain't ate a hot dog or a hamburger on loaf bread. And when you go to squeeze it with the ketchup, all the bread collapses. And now the bread's down here and the hamburger's up here. And you're like, well, now I got ketchup and everything else on my hand. That's how you know you in the South. And I sure do miss some of that stuff. And maybe this weekend we're gonna get to live back in the 80s. That's what I'm hoping for. So if y'all just tuning in, Jay, I don't know if you've seen it when I started the show. This is what I'm planning on, man. This is what I went down the rabbit hole of maybe possibly building my own like layout P-row kind of wooden boat. I'm thinking about, I already purchased the plans and I can't show them because they are kind of like copyrighted. And if I show them and then somebody else will be able to see them. And basically the plans is $10 and $12. It cost me $22 to get 3 plans. And I don't want to cheap the man out. So it's Cumberland Rover. And he's got YouTube videos. He shows you how to do it. It is unreal how simple it looks. And usually when it looks simple, it's probably not simple. And I'm ready to either do one or two things. Now, maybe 1 or 3 or 4 things. Either make a boat that floats, make a boat that sinks, or crack a board, or waste money. Like it's going to be one of them things. I don't know which one it's going to be, but the way I'm looking at it, if Rose can float on a piece of wood a bed rail or whatever, if she can float and throw jack off, I think I can make a wooden boat. That's what I think. Yeah, I know the Creek Boat brand. I know the Creek Boat. Them things are like $1,000. So supposedly, with these plans right here, you can build the boat, buy the wood, buy the glue, the screws, and everything that you need for under $200. Like, you are supposed to be able to take $200, go to Home Depot. I call it Home Depot. I know it's Home Depot. Home Depot, $200, come out with supplies, and be able to make this boat with very little tools. We're going to find out. That's what I'm going to do. It's either going to be like, you're going to watch the video and it's going to be like, yep, going in, get my supplies. I'm coming out. We're going to start this boat, and you're going to see the video, and you're going to be like, well, dang, what happened halfway through? It didn't float. But y'all also have not seen the video of my last kayak. I got it recorded. I haven't put it together yet, but the kayak went down like the Titanic last week, and it was pretty bad. That's a good question, Jay. So this is also going to be hard to believe that this boat is supposed to be made with flooring 1/4-inch plywood. Like, you're supposed to use regular commercial wood, nothing fancy. 1/4-inch plywood on the bottom. So the 12-foot, the 10-foot, the 12-foot, I know that one says 16-foot. I will not be building the 16. I'm going to make it 12 with a modified on the back, anywhere between 60 and 80 pounds. Well, heck, that's how much my plastic kayak weighs. The one thing that I'm looking at right here, so I'll throw it back up on the screen here. So overall length is 16 foot on this particular one. And again, I'm not going 16. Mine's going to be around the 12. But max being 34. My kayak is only 30. So I'm going to gain 4 inches of stability. Yep, I made that word up. Made with traditional construction. 1/4-inch plywood bottom. Now, like I said, I've watched, there are so many videos out there, like so many videos of people making wooden boats. And my papa had a wooden boat all my life when I was growing up. I don't recall until I got probably driving age that my papa upgraded to a metal boat. Now, with wooden boats, a lot of times, and I know this isn't going to be a plywood, it's not going to fit this scenario, but these old wooden boats, typically when they get wet, they swell up and don't leak. But these plywood ones, they use glue and they put them together, and you got two choices. You either paint over it with regular paint, and you just keep touching it up every time you scratch the bottom, or you get some fiberglass and fiberglass the bottom and a epoxy it. I don't know. What I've been watching is these people are getting like 4 or 5 years out of a boat. If you get 4 or 5 years out of a boat and you got less than $200 in it, that's pretty daggone good. I really, and I see them around, but they're not in South Carolina. This is what I really would like to have. Not going to lie. And I seen them everywhere up in New Jersey. They're everywhere in New Jersey. Trying to find a good picture here. Here's one right here. So let me throw it up on the screen. These are sneak boats, some kind of called sneak boxes. Like this picture here is a sneak box. These are all wooden boats. Like wooden. That's all wooden. That's old. This one right here, wooden. Like I said, they're like the layout boat UFOs. A lot of people use the UFOs. They are unreal how stable they are. They are made, I mean, they're usually only this thick. Like they are made for some shallow marshes. Here's another picture. That's the back of it. That's what I really want. And they are everywhere on Facebook Marketplace in New Jersey, Philadelphia, all around Maryland. Right now, get on Facebook. I can find a ton of them. But the problem is, and if you ever had a boat, and this is typically right here, you would see that cloth. They use that cloth to get up under and make it like a layout type boat. Tons of them. See, wooden boat. I really would like to work my way up to building one of them, but I got to take baby steps. Like I said, there's tons of plans out there to show you how to make these. But again, there's tons of them for sale. Let's just take Georgia and North Carolina. We're going to put South Carolina slap dab in the middle because that's where South Carolina is. If I buy a boat from North Carolina, well, North Carolina, you got to have a title for the boat and the trailer. They don't title the motor. I go down to Georgia. Georgia's completely different. Well, let's just say South Carolina. I got a boat and I got it for sale. I got one of my pontoons is for sale. My sticker on the side says 2026. That means I paid my taxes. Well, if I don't pay my taxes this year and they, expire, but it's still 2026 because, my taxes are due in, say, February, and I sell it in July. Well, the man buys the boat. He takes it down to DNR, and he's like, hey, I want to get it titled. And they're going to be like, well, that's fine, but you got to pay taxes on it. Not taxes that you bought the boat. You got to pay my taxes. And you're going to be like, why do I have to pay his county tax? That's not fair. I just bought the boat. So there is a site on DNR's website. You could take a boat sticker, like the SC1234VW or whatever the sticker is on the side of the boat. You can put it on the website and see if the person bought or paid for their taxes. Same thing with a motor. So when you go to Georgia, you see a boat across the state line, man. Jay ain't very far, man. Jay's next door neighbor, three rows down the road, got a boat for sale. I go down there and buy it. Well, I bring it back to South Carolina. I might play the devil getting that thing titled in South Carolina. My buddy did the same thing. He went and bought a motor in Georgia and got it back up. He had the title in his hand. Here's the title. I got the title that says I got a 1999 250. 250. Right there. Says it on the title. Well, I mean, if you went to go buy a boat and you go up to, Bill, and he's got a boat in his yard, and he's like, here's the title. And you look, and the title says, hey, my name's Bill. And it's got a serial number of 123. And you look on the motor, serial number 123, you think you got a 250. Because that's what the title says. Title says 250. Well, he pays the man. He drives back to South Carolina. He goes to register in South Carolina, and they say, well, we can't really find that in Georgia. What size motor is it? He's like, well, it says 250. And it's kind of like, you can fib the number. Well, come to find out, when you remove the cow, because certain mercuries, you can replace the cow. It wasn't even a 250. It was like a 200. So in the boat world, there is some shady stuff in the boat world. And North Carolina, if a boat is under 14 feet without a motor, I don't know all the rules, but if it's under 14 feet, you don't have to register it. If it's over 14, you got to register it, but you don't have to do the motor. And then I don't know what New Jersey is. They got their own little stickers, and I can't translate any of that to go dump it into a database to see. And here I am. I see these boats for sale, like really good prices. Like I want to go up there and get one, but I'm going to have to take a day to go. Well, not a day to go, but it's going to take a day to go up and back. And then I'm going to get the DNR and they're going to be like, well, you bought this from Bill, but our record showed that Susie owns it. And your paperwork don't say Susie. And well, I'm sorry. You need a bill of sale and all this. And you didn't get a bill of sale, or you didn't cross the I and dot the T. Well, now you got a paperweight. And that's really what I'm afraid of paperweights. And a lot of these places that have them for sale in New Jersey, they're just regular people like me. Would they be trying to gyp you? Probably not. There's thousands of honest people out there. That's not really what I'm afraid of. I'm not afraid of, hey man, I went down to DNR and I need this. Yeah. I'll get it to you. I send it in the mail. It may work out perfectly fine, but it may not. And I might have a $800 or $1,000 piece of wood that I can't even float in. Because in South Carolina, like kayaks, you can put a kayak in the water, you can paddle all day long, but as soon as you put a trolling motor on it, you got to register it. And this big old wooden boat, I know Jay says, what will it weigh? 80 pounds. That's what my kayak weighs. I mean, come on. It's almost like a John boat, like this John boat that I'm using as a desk. That's probably like 80 pounds. Well, yeah, you can get to some places paddling, but you really want a kayak. You want to put a trolling motor on it. I mean, that's the end goal is the trolling motor. So I don't want to get one. I really would like to find somebody in like New Jersey or Maryland, something like that has a sneak boat that actually has at a marina or something like that I could actually go and physically get the paperwork correct. That's the biggest thing is the paperwork. In Georgia, a homemade boat has to be inspected by DNR before it will be registered. Exactly. Same thing in South Carolina. Like my kayak. And this is what I want to do in the video. Like I said, the boat's got to get together. It's got to be formed and somewhat float first. If it floats and don't sink, then I want to register it. I want to show y'all, maybe not y'all, I mean some of y'all probably know, but I want to show YouTube how to register it. How do you do it? The way I did my kayak. I took my kayak down to DNR to register it. Why? Because they need a side photo, they need a front photo, inside photo, they need hull information. And when you build a boat, you can build a boat legally in South Carolina. And just like Jay said, you can build it in Georgia. But there's paperwork that has to go along with it. There is paperwork. You have to get it inspected. You have to mark it with some type of a serial number or some kind of identification number on there so that it will be put on the title, because once it's registered, you legally can then sell it to somebody else. So I want to do that steps. I want to make the boat. I want to make it where it actually floats, which shouldn't be hard, I don't think. Again, it says anybody with construction tools and less than $200 can make it work. We're gonna find out. But that's what I hope after all these blizzards come through with all the snow and ice. That's what I want. So if anybody's watching the channel and watches it later, and y'all from upstate like New Jersey, Maryland, that area, and you have a sneak boat or a sneak box, depends on which way people call it, and you want to get rid of it, and you legit got the paperwork, and I don't have to fight with DNR, hit me up, because this right here, y'all, that's what I want. Look at that boat. It's all wooden. It's got the planks in there. Them two pieces on the outside is for oars. I don't want oars. I want a trolling motor on the back. That right there is what I want. I want that sneak boat. I want to old school. Like, that right there makes me want to daggone go get the old humpback and go out in the marsh. I'm talking about go old school. And you know, maybe it won't work out. And yeah, the creek boats do have some features like that, like the water feather super light boat. That's more for paddling. That don't have a motor on the back. A lot of these sneak boats up here, the New Jersey style, they do have motors on them. Like this one right here, a lot of them have motors on them, like 8.8s, 9 horsepower, stuff like that. A lot of them are called stitched and glue. Like, again, you can watch a lot of videos on there. There's a lot of videos to tell you how to make these old marsh traditional sneak boxes. What they call them stitching is literally you put the two pieces of the wood together and you take wire and you basically stitching it together, and then you rosin, or you use some kind of rosin, fiberglass, rosin, yeah, on the inside and outside, and then fiberglass it. So that's what stitching and gluing. There's like all kinds of different types of how they do it. You will be surprised, like what they call the bottom of them boats typically are called sail holes. Like they are sailboat to sneak boat. And right here, it's going to show you. There's tons of videos on people taking old sunfish sailboats and turning them into duck boats. Plenty of videos. Old school, that's how they done it. And it's made for shallow water. It's made for getting into the marshes. It's not made to get up on plane. And if you had a boat, getting up on plane so you can go fast. These are not fast boats. There's a lot of videos that show you how to turn these sunfish sailboats into gunning boats, like into sneak boxes. Like I said, there's 1,000 different names how you call them. There's one right there. That is a sunfish sailboat. A lot of them are on Facebook Marketplace. And you're going to be like, well, why can't you do that? Well, I'm going to take sunfish here, and I'm going to drop it right here in there. And I'm going to say, oh, well, y'all can't see it all. So I'm going to say sunfish, South Carolina, DNR. Obviously, that's a sunfish. Let me type in boat, because that's going to make things a lot better. There we go. So how can you take a boat and register it? We're on images. So here we go. Title and registration. So back in the day, South Carolina, you didn't have to have a title for a sailboat. And it tells you right there, effective July 1st. That's the transfer depth. Where is the date for sailboat? There's a date because I've read it. Anyway, there's a date between 1990 something. I don't remember what it is, and it's obviously not on that particular page, where all sailboats now have to be registered. Well, how do you purchase one from somebody that has a title? Well, if they had a title, that would be great. That makes life so much easier, minus if they didn't pay their taxes. Then you got to pay back taxes. I ain't worried about that. But if they don't have a title, then you got to start coming down here for missing titles. And if you don't have a title and you're going down that row of missing titles, you're probably going to have a boat anchor. I mean, I hate to tell you, but talk to somebody that didn't have a title for a boat and what that goes through. Whoo, the paperwork don't want to go down that road. But sailboats, this is what I was looking for. A sunfish, which it says sunfish, a title for $10. And then are you going to have a trolling motor on it? Well, it's $20. Any sailboat that was 14 feet or under now has not been titled since 1989 will pay a late fee. And then there's a $30 late fee. So, I mean, it's just like, hey, there's a sunfish on Facebook. I could cut that up and make what I want. Absolutely. That would work great. But go on Facebook, look up sunfish, sailboats, and then look at the descriptions. Don't even look at the photos. Just scroll straight to the description. No title. All right, well, you don't want that one. Missing title. Give you a bill of sale. I mean, it's just, I don't want the headaches. Maybe one day, but that's what I was looking for right there. June 8th, 1989, the law changed saying, which required all sailboats, no matter the length, to be titled. Now, if it's titled, again, there is a place to look at on DNR's website. Let me see if I can find it. It's going to be up under boating. Maybe it's this page. And I think you can go to, let's see. So here's homemade boats. This shows you how to do homemade boats like what I was talking about. Boats that had no hull ID. Now this one is a hull. This one, you know, sometimes I get on squirrel moments. Let me just click this one and show you. Hey, you want to buy a boat that doesn't have any ID on it. So you got to fill out this application. Well, when you go to this application, this right here, your name goes there, the description of it, and where did you purchase the boat? Where's the person at? Where's it located? And directions how to get there. Because like Jay was saying, it's got to be looked at by DNR. They will have to come out there and verify that that's that boat, put this paperwork together, and do all that. That's a lot of work. That is definitely not what I want to do. But what I'm looking for is where you could type in South Carolina. I think that's it right there. That's it. So if you go out to South Carolina DNR, you go to boating, you come down here to get the facts before you buy. You click that and you're going to say, yes, I've read the information, and I'm not going to look up anybody's information because that would be giving it out. But if you type in the sticker that's on the side of the boat, right there is going to tell you who owns the boat and if they paid their taxes. And you can look up motor numbers. So you want to do that research, and that's easy to do. If you're looking for a boat on Facebook Marketplace and you see the number on the side, go drop it in here. That could save you so much time, so much money, because when you get to DNR and you're going to say, hey, I got my title, I want to put this boat in my register, I want to register it, my name, they're going to go, all right, well, you're going to have to pay back taxes for that one guy in Sumter or in Greenville. Well, can I pay you the back taxes? No, sir. You got to go to that county and pay the back taxes. So now who's doing the legwork? You are. And you know, I can promise you, on the back of titles, you can fill out all your stuff and you can put it in the mail. And if it ain't right and you didn't sign something or a checkbox, they're sending it right back to you. And then you got to do whatever, put it back in the mail. I highly recommend going to there to do it. There's, I think, 2 places. I think there's 3 places in South Carolina. You got upstate, you got the one in Columbia, and I think there's one somewhere down Charleston area that you can go like on prem. But it is a lot of paperwork. And I have a John boat. It's my grandpa's John boat. I haven't paid the taxes on it in a good many years because it's a John boat. And actually, the last time I was in it, I about sunk it because the weight on it was like, I don't know, 200 pounds, and I might have been well over it. It almost went down like the Titanic. But I'm saving it for my son. And if you ever had a boat in South Carolina, when you go to register for turkey hunting, deer hunting, waterfowl, whatever, you will see your boats listed on the same portal. The same portal that you pay your hunting license is where your boat taxes and stickers and all that stuff is put. So you can see that, and you can renew your boat at the same portal. Now, another thing about a boat, if you get an old enough boat, eventually you don't have to pay taxes anymore. It will become tax exempt, but you still got to pay your, I think, the $10 South Carolina fee. My pontoon, it's a 99. It's done went past the state tax or the county tax. I don't have to pay no more taxes on it, but I still have to pay the $10 sticker fee. And the reason, a lot of people don't know it, the reason the state of South Carolina went to the yearly sticker was because they used to could do 3 years. You could buy the sticker for 3 years. The sticker would be $30. Well, if I bought it in January, I bought the sticker, I paid my $30, but I didn't pay February or March taxes, and I just sold the boat. Now the person who buys it now has got to pay 2 or 3 months taxes. So they went to the 1 year to try to cut down on people getting gypped. And like I said, if you have never dealt with a boat, it is fun. There's 3 great days of a boat: the day you own it, the day you take your kids out on it and have fun in it, and the day you sell it. That's the only 3 days. The rest of the days, you got to have money to own a boat. Boat stands for break out another 1,000. So get a John boat. Build a wooden boat. I don't know. But this is going to be the adventure. I hope that, in the upcoming weeks, after, like I said, after this snow, I am not going outside and busting out a heater in the shop. And, them old kerosene heaters where your eyes be done, the kerosene done burnt you and dried your eyes out, and you can't see because the kerosene's in the air. Yeah, I'm not dealing with none of that. I do want to do it. I want to record it. So we're either going to have a boat complete, and it's either going to float or sink. And it would not be the first time that I flipped anything on video accidental. So we're going to see how it goes. And like I said, hopefully we make good content out of it. So, but like I said, it's going to be cold this weekend. I hope y'all get some snow. I hope we get some snow. Be safe. Remember to pray for the people that's out in it. Now I'm talking to everybody. I'm talking the homeless, the people that have to work out in the linemen, the DOT, highway patrol, county, EMS, fire, county workers, all these people that have to be out in it, military. A lot of times, a lot of these states use their own local, state, national guards. There's a lot of people that's going to be out in there. A lot of people, like I said last week, there's a lot of people that they have a family, but they're leaving their family to go help us. There's a lot of people that, imagine, I'm going to talk to the men here for a minute. Imagine you have your house. You got your kids there and your wife and whatever. And now the power just went off at your house. How would you feel leaving your family to say, I hope you make it through everything. I hope everything works out, because now I got to go to work because everybody else is now out. And I greatly appreciate each and every one of them type people. First responders. Out of all the years that I ran fire calls and EMS, and many years ago when I worked at EMS, I didn't want to see the snow because that meant I had to work. It usually meant we did a lot of work before, a lot of work prepping, ran a lot of calls. A lot of times I miss seeing what little bit of snow we did have. I miss seeing it with the kids. So there's a lot of people that miss a lot of stuff just so we still got power. So if you see any of the first responders, any of the linemen, the cable men, DOT, thank them. You know, if you got the extra money, buy them lunch. If you see them out, you know, get them something. Tell them thank you. You know, maybe you don't have the money. I understand that. It don't take a dime to tell somebody thank you. It don't take a dime. When you walk up to somebody and say, hey, I appreciate you going out there and doing what you're doing so my family can be warm. Don't cost a dime. So this week, you know, we got a couple days left. Maybe you see somebody, maybe you can help out. Again, it don't cost a dime to check on your neighbor. So don't touch a power line, because treat them all like they got power. And what did I say? Don't eat no yellow snow. So y'all be safe, because I don't want to lose a subscriber. I want to gain subscribers. So if y'all listen to this on a podcast, I would greatly appreciate if you hit that subscribe button. If you're on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. I don't know if that thing is still going up there, but if you're on TikTok, hey, hit the follow button. Like I said, I greatly appreciate all y'all. I'm enjoying it, having fun. Hoping y'all have fun. Y'all be safe out there. And I want to leave us with a verse and then pray for the people that's going to be out in it. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you. When he's saying, wherever you go, I'm going to be with you. God said he's going to be with you. Isaiah 43:2 says, wherever you go, whatever storm you're going through, I'm going to be there with you. Half the time, majority of the time, and I'm speaking for myself, we leave him. He don't leave us, we leave him. Just like when he got out of the boat and was walking on water. He was walking on water until the storm got a hold of him, and then he took his eyes off Jesus. We take our eyes off so much, and he never leaves us. So wherever you are, wherever this storm leads us, just remember, it's a storm of nature or a storm of life. He's with us. So God, thank you for everything you do. Thank you for the many blessings that you send my way, send my family's way, send my friends' way. Be with the guys and gals that are going out hunting this weekend. I know this is closing up a season. Be with them, protect them. Don't let them get the mindset of, I got to go and do something dangerous. Just remember that they're putting their life and other people's lives at risk also. Be with the people that's got to be out in it. Be with the homeless. Let them get someplace warm, some food in their body. Give them rest. Be with our first responders. Be with the people, the linemen, the powermen, DOT, Highway Patrol, Fire, EMS, National Guard. Be with the families of the military that's fighting for our freedom. They're over protecting our country while their family's here. And we can't forget the elderly. Be with them, Lord. If they need something, let us see that they need it. Don't let them suffer or feel like they are too good to ask for something. Let us be that light. Let us give them what they need, Lord. And I thank you for sending your son to die on the cross for my sin and everyone's sin. And I thank you for everything you do. Amen. So thank y'all for another good week. And y'all be safe. Like I said, I don't want to lose no subscribers. So until next week, here's a word from our sponsors. And I'll see y'all next Wednesday, 8 o'clock.
Matthew Knight with Satura Investors out of Charlotte. There's the information. The link to his website is scrolling across the banner down at the bottom, and it's also in the description. Today's episode is about helping business owners and working professionals like you who share a passion for the outdoors, shooting sports, zeroing them in to their long-term financial goals. So if you need any information or contact or any other questions, contact Matthew. Also, go check out Salt Creek Ammo. This triple curl TSS is some of the best TSS I have ever shot. This is for waterfowl edition. It's made for waterfowl. So if you're going to shoot a species that you've been chasing for a long time, don't use no cheap ammo. You pay good money to go on a trip. You got great guns. Don't cheap out on cheap ammunition. This TSS is amazing. It's got number 7s, number 8s, and he has number 9s. So go check out saltcreekammo.com. Here you will find any kind of ammo you're looking for. He has custom loads, TSS in 10 gauge, 12 gauge, 20 gauge, low pressure ammunition. You got predator ammunition, turkey ammunition, anything you're looking for, give Keith a call. Also to the channel, Kicks Industries, most people will know them as Kick Chokes, has came on board, and I have done a bunch of series lately on waterfowl choke tubes, turkey choke tubes, deer choke tubes. So go check out Kick's website for all of the chokes that can fit your guns. Flint Ridge Hauling Service, LLC, has partnered up with the channel. It is your go-to provider for all your hauling needs. They are not just any hauling service. They are an active DOT interstate hotshot hauling provider. Flint Ridge Service, LLC, prides itself in its reliable transportation services. This team ensures that your cargo is delivered safely and on time no matter the distance. Whether you need to transport goods across the county or state line, they have the capacity and the expertise to meet your hauling needs. Equipped with a smooth riding 40-foot air ride equipped trailer and a max hauling capacity of 20,000 pounds, there's no load too big or too small that they can't handle. Look no further than Flint Ridge Hauling Service, LLC.